Yeah, I actually printed off some stuff here that
Oh, shoot.
some like marketing tips or whatever for agents. I think a lot of agents are always looking for ways to market themselves, market their properties and things like that. And I think um, these sort of things can be a bit of a challenge for realtors. So I was thinking about kind of going over these. What do you think about that?
Yeah, shoot, man.
All right, cool.
Let's do it.
So what I came up with is some of the like 9 tips or marketing ideas for real estate agents here in 2015. I mean, times are changing. We've got Blab here, obviously, that's come out this year, and it's relatively new. It's in beta, and we're still trying to figure out how to implement this into real estate and this platform into real estate, live streaming, Periscope, that sort of thing. And so here's some of the number one tip that I came up with was be mobile and be responsive. Not just in the sense of being able to respond to emails and things like that, but being connected. I still talk to agents to this day that aren't connected. And with the millennials and the new generation of internet and what people are doing on the internet, I think being seen, I guess the value of being seen is super duper important.
Well, okay, so that's like a huge thing, and there's so many different ways to attack that. I'm very on with you in terms of having to be able to be easy to communicate with and having to be easy to be able to find. Is that kind of where you're headed towards?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, being out there, like some people aren't even on LinkedIn, for God's sake.
Right.
You can be. And when I talk to agents, they're talking about, I mean, they have skeletons in their closet, or they don't want to something to pop or something. It's like, look, you just got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You just put yourself out there, and because people are going to search you, they're going to look for you. If they can't find you,
let's start right there then. And that's exactly true. Every buyer that you have as a real estate agent and every seller that you have, I don't care if you got them off of Zillow or Trulia, or if they're a referral from one of your family members or some high school or college friend, everybody is going to do a Google search on your name. So they're going to take your name and type it right into the Google search box and see what comes up. So what I like to call that usually is every agent should have a basic online presence. And that online presence is basically having it's a combination of profiles and content that's distributed at different places throughout the web, so that when somebody does actually type in your name, you fill up as much of that front page. And it's actually a perfect exercise to do for a real estate agent to just type your name in now and see what pulls up. And that's actually kind of a funny exercise, because that's pretty much the results that most people are going to get. And I think you can do that through a combination of the websites that I like to make sure that there's completed profiles on are going to be LinkedIn, Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, your Facebook, and a YouTube channel. I think at a bare minimum in terms of social channels, and Trulia and Zillow really are social media channels or versions of them. And in terms of social media platforms and profiles, those are absolutely without a doubt. And then if you have your own website, that's going to also pull up in that first page as well. And every agent, in my opinion, should have a website as part of that presence.
Absolutely. Even if you just use YouTube as your website, you get some kind of website.
Yeah, you got to have something. And actually, Karen's got a good point here. She said, and Karen, let me know if you have a webcam. She said, I'm a big believer that every agent needs a website, even if it gets zero organic traffic. It's critical when someone is checking you out. Hell yeah, that's exactly right. And the website isn't so much, if your strategy doesn't have to be just about getting traffic to your website. It should be ultimately, but your website's really just a home base for everything that you got going on social media and everything. And plus, when someone is going to check you out, they are going to see if you're have your own website, and they absolutely are going to go to that page. And when they get there, you want them to see something that actually represents you. Absolutely.
And giving credibility. Absolutely. You got to have that about me section of your website filled out, testimonials, that sort of thing. That's a whole nother thing.
And that's Yeah, I agree. And Karen, I agree with Karen too. She said that it totally gives you credibility. That about me part, and like I just changed mine to be, I changed mine I call it my story. And it's got text in there, but I made it totally is visual. I added visuals and videos, pictures and videos throughout my story page to kind of explain what it is that I do and who it is that I am. And since I changed that on my website, that's actually besides some of my high ranking blog articles, that's my next highest page that gets ranked right now is that my story page. And it really is. It's just a must-have for everyone because it's going to get looked at, and I think that you owe that to your clients to let them be able to find that information, make it easy for them to be able to see you and find you.
Absolutely. Now, the second thing here, George, that I and this is something I wasn't even really aware of. I see here in Blab, I see a lot of people that put under the comments. They put those animated kind of pictures and whatnot on the side of the chat there, and it's called a GIF. I wasn't even aware of a GIF. I'm not even sure what GIF stands for. Maybe some.
A GIF? You mean like GIF?
Yeah, GIF.
Yeah. It's a GIF. It's just an animated like picture thing. Yeah.
Well, I've seen some agents starting to use those animated pictures in their emails and other types of places, if you will, whether it be their email or on their website or some other place, to help build a brand for themselves and promote themselves. And I thought that was genius. I thought that was really, really cool. Maybe it's not even just maybe branding themselves, but something that's maybe part of the, like right now we're getting into Halloween. So they have Halloween gifts.
It's like a GIF's like a little animated picture kind of movie, but it's not a movie file. It's and you can place them on your website. I actually got one on my Facebook fan page. It's a GIF that outlines the it takes a cell phone and it starts off has like someone's office and in like 1985, and then that office goes into and then it goes like 1987, 1990, 1995, and then you see one piece of what used to be on an office desk like disappear, and then by the time it gets to like today, it's just a cell phone. The telephone, the fax machine, the typewriter, everything's gone off the desk. There's cool things you can do with that, with the gifts. And then Donna had a question on where you get one made, and the best place to get those kind of things made is Fiverr, Fiverr.com. It's a site where everything costs $5. And there's all sorts of like creative type people. They pretty much do everything that you can think of. And there's and creative type things, creating images, doing all sorts of nutty things. But a GIF would be something that you could easily find someone there to make for like $5 or $10.
Yeah, and there's free. I looked on today too that you can make them in Pixlr. I guess you can make them on there for free. There's actually also a free website, and I'll get it here for you, and I'll post it in the chat. But there's a free website where you upload your own images, and it'll make the GIF for you free.
Oh, really? That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to know the name of that website when you get a chance for that one. That's neat. I think that.
I'll pull it up right now here for us. And then and let's go on to the next one here. The next one was automating your content and marketing sourcing. I'm kind of torn on that one a little bit. I know a lot of agents do a lot of marketing through email, and they do these automatic kind of email blasts, if you will, out to their past clients and email drip campaigns. Mm-hmm. A lot of those that aren't necessarily customizable. And so then you get some agents that have the same material as another agent. In fact, I get emails all the time from two different agents with the same content, just different branding.
Yeah.
If I was a buyer, I'd be like, what the heck is that? I mean,
are you talking about strictly on emails? Like
primarily, yeah. Email.
Yeah. And this is actually something we talked about yesterday too with the email marketing, is that probably the biggest thing would be this. Think about what you do with your own emails that you get into your own inbox. Think about all the emails you get. Everybody has a ton of spam stuff. We've all signed up for stuff that we never go back to again to get like download an ebook or whatever. And think about all that crap that comes through your email box. And now think about how much stuff do you just delete without even opening it up. You just read the message and who it's from, and you don't even take a second to do anything with it. And that's what you're getting at, where that if you're just sending, if you're purchasing the content for an email newsletter, and then you get it through like your brokerage or some other third party service, and they send out these email blasts for you, you know, once a month or every other week or every week, whatever your frequency is. What happens is that if you're the people on your email list, if they know that that's all you send out is like this templated like newsletter that they know you didn't create yourself, then like they know there's nothing important that's coming in your email. So then all they're going to do is just delete it. And it's the same thing that I do when I get messages from people that I know that's all they send out is spam stuff. You're just going to delete it. And then all you're doing then is you're not really helping yourself, and you're just adding more spam and more junk into the ecosphere of your email, of everyone's email box.
Right.
I don't like those. I'd rather craft my own emails, and I think it's too important to just not mess around and not clutter up people's inboxes. The one that's funny is that I have a lot of real estate agents that I'm on their email list, and they sent when I get those emails from them, if they're at the same brokerage, I'll have like 3 or 4 agents at one brokerage, and they're all signed up using the same campaign. And it's the same thing. I'll see them all pop up at the same time. And I know that they didn't even read whatever got sent out themselves. It's just on an automatic drip.
Yeah. And you know, the one that I used for a long, long time was Realty Juggler.
Yeah.
Actually, it was actually pretty good, man. I liked it a lot, to be honest with you, because I could personalize it, and I could embed video into the emails.
Yeah.
Set up the drip campaign how I wanted to set it up. And it was like $99 a year. It was super cheap.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, like with the video and the emails, like you got that. Yeah, they can do that. And then you also got the bomb stuff. And the thing is with that stuff is that, you know, I think I would, if you were going to make a video and you're going to email it, I would much rather just take a thumbnail image of like a screenshot and a little play button placed in the middle of it, and then just add that image into your email so it looks like a video. And then that whatever video you're making for somebody, then have that go directly back to your website and have the video there and a nice little message. But I like the video, but I do like the video messages. I think even if they're like semi-personalized, if it's like if I was a Cubs fan and the Cubs they won the game last night, and I'd be sending out like some kind of Cubs fever thing or some shit like that to my sphere of influence. Or I'd be maybe offering something like some kind of like challenge type thing, or some kind of bet, like if the Cubs win, I don't know, if the Cubs win the next series or whatever, I'm buying pizzas at such and such bar, and you can come by or something like that. But anything personalized that's tied to whatever's going on in the universe right now. And like if I was a Chicago agent, it'd be something probably Cubs related if I was a Cubs fan. Yeah.
Now, have you ever used iJot, or have you ever heard of iJot?
No, I didn't. What is it?
iJot is video emailing, Vmail.
Okay. Okay.
And you can do a video. It's iOS based or Apple based. I'm a Samsung guy, so I'm Android. But if you have an iPhone, iJot is pretty cool because you can do it right from your iPhone. If you have an Android, you can do it from your computer.
Yeah.
Send out video emails or Vmails.
Okay.
So that's a really good video email.
And you know, with these things too, if you're using an iPhone 6, even an iPhone 5, but any iPhone 6 up and iPhone 5, or if you're using one of the Galaxy phones or the Note phones, the video camera quality on these things is pretty fantastic. It's almost as good as my DSLR camera that I use for shooting my professional videos and doing the real estate photography stuff. And I mean, realistically, you could, with the right a couple things you attach to this thing, you could make your videos on using just a native video recording app on here. You plug a microphone into it and put this thing up on a tripod, and it'll perform great for you in terms of creating like a quick, simple video.
Yeah, I do all my videos from my phone.
Yeah,
the Note 2, and it shoots great.
Yeah, that phone has phenomenal video and photo processing capabilities. It's unbelievable what it can do.
It is unbelievable. I love it. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think on the video emails, it's there's no doubt they work. I think it's all about what kind of message are you putting on that video email. What's the content of that? So like if you're just going to send a video email, it's be like, TRID stuff is happening. So, buy your house before October 2nd or 3rd or whatever. And then, so buy now, or mortgage rates are going down. No one cares about that kind of shit. Do something that's a little more personal, something that delivers a little more value to the people you want to connect with.
Yeah. Karen's asking a question there about what you would do with video as an agent. And, one of the things when I talk to my agents, I ask them to do as kind of a starter, if you will, is to talk about a particular neighborhood. So go on location and film that neighborhood. Maybe there's a park in that neighborhood. Maybe there's some certain restaurants in that neighborhood. Maybe there's whatever unique about that neighborhood. Go there, shoot on location, and talk about the amenities of that particular neighborhood. Post that up, and that's a great way to, especially if you want to target a particular neighborhood and become the expert in that neighborhood, talk about that neighborhood, get to know that neighborhood, and film it.
Yeah.
It'll go a long ways, I promise.
Well, it actually, like, that is just where you start too. Like, you start with the neighborhood stuff, but then you got to get deeper. And I like what your boy out here in DeKalb is saying. That's the kind of stuff I like, is doing the restaurant reviews. And like right now, if you lived in whatever city you live in, okay, so you would take like the major suburb that you're working out of. And like for us here in Chicago, I just moved actually from Naperville. So Naperville here is like a pretty nice sized community. It's got it has a little baby downtown and everything else. And it's very large, and a lot of people want to live there. So if I was a real estate agent, I would be making videos about Naperville. So I'd start with the videos you're talking about, about certain neighborhoods, but then you go beyond that and you get into here's the top 5 sushi restaurants in Naperville, and then you actually have to like sushi and like have you don't have to be a professional food critic or anything like that, but just actually go to those restaurants, check them out, eat, have a drink, and then write up a review on it, videotape it, and then now you've got a really rich piece of content. And the only reason why you want to do that is because the only people that are interested in finding sushi restaurants in Naperville, and there's a lot of people that are searching for that online, are people that actually freaking live in Naperville or nearby. And that's the kind of tactical stuff that you can and that's the cool part that you can get into when you're making video.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The only thing I would suggest on the videos is don't make them too long, right? Keep them short, keep them to the point, do the quick flashes of maybe some attractions or the actual outside of the restaurant, and be creative with your video, but keep the video short. One reason for that is because in Google or YouTube, if you post it to YouTube, they look at the time that people spend on that video, and the more that they watch that video, then the higher it ranks in the YouTube searches and in the Google searches. So if you have a 30-second video, for example, and people watch it 15 seconds, well, they've watched 50% of that video. That's going to outrank somebody who only watches or a video that only is 10% watched.
Yeah, it all goes by the quality of that content. And you're right, it does you have to get to the point on it. You got to get to your point, deliver the valuable content, and then move on. Yeah. And you don't have to like spend a lot of time with making a real fancy introduction or spend a lot of time talking about you. Well, actually, you shouldn't talk about yourself at all. You want to make it quick, let's just say to the point. And you could have a longer video. It just has to be, but the content has to still be there the whole time. The only way you're going to hold somebody is if the content's there. It's valuable. But I love the restaurant stuff. When we call that, the technical term for that kind of stuff is hyper local content. And it really does work. We have, there's the one source that I always like to point out is Brian Clark from Copy Blogger. Did you follow him at all? No. So he's got a real estate he's got a content marketing company and a software company now, and they're out of Boulder, Colorado. And he has a real estate arm to his business, and they're doing right now they just moved their headquarters there, and he started a real estate site that started out just delivering hyperlocal content in Boulder, Colorado. It's called yourboulder.com. And with that website, they started out just by providing local content. total local content. In their case, they're not even doing videos; they're just doing pure articles, blog articles. But they hired a writer, they got contributors, and they just loaded up with content and content and content. And then they added a real estate component to it later. Like 6 months after they got the base website set up, and then they started to put listings on there. And then now the next phase is to try to get their buyer leads and seller leads off their website. But it's all driven by quality content that they're putting in about local stuff going on.
No, that's perfect, man, because I see a lot of agents, all they do is post pictures of houses, and like it's kind of boring. People want to see other things. They want to see interaction. They want to see that you're part of the community. So content is critical.
Quality content, yeah. And then you got to add that quality content. It's got to be good quality, hardcore content.
Absolutely. So the next thing here that I've got here, and I want to kind of get your thought on this, is experimenting with hyperlapse. I don't know if you're familiar with hyperlapse.
On Instagram, or what's it on?
Yeah, Instagram has it. And I've got an example here I'll play for you that I think will kind of get the point across here. Let's see if it'll play here. Hopefully it'll play pretty good. So that's like normal, and then hyperlapse is like, it looks like break it up a little bit, but it's much faster than the normal speed of the video, right?
Yeah, it's totally high speed.
Yeah, it's totally high speed. And so that then is a way to, squeeze more content into a shorter time frame, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the hyperlapse, they came out with that last summer, and it was late last summer. They added that, and I don't know if it really actually kind of I don't know if people are really using it, or it's definitely cool to take all those shots and have it go really high speed. And you can if you took enough shots, you can pretty much show the experience of going to a concert or going out downtown or like a going out night, or even like at a conference event. I don't know if a lot of people have used it. I thought it was really cool when it came out. I found it was hard to figure out how to incorporate. For me, it was hard to figure out how to incorporate it into using it practically,
Well, I think on the iPhones and stuff, you can film at like twice the speed or 3 times the speed or whatever. And then let's say you just drove the neighborhood and you filmed, the neighborhood at sunset or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe the leaves falling, in the neighborhood this time of year, and hyperlapse that. I think it would be a cool effect. And then you have that as a bookmark, and then you come in and say, "Isn't this neighborhood beautiful?" Or you can do all kinds of things with it, I guess.
Yeah, if you can make just a cool looking video out of it, because it does do some cool stuff. Yeah, maybe I got to go back to try that again. But I do remember when it came out, and then I remember a lot of people were kind of they were touting, they touted it up really big time before they released it, and then they kept saying this is going to change things, and there was a lot of hype kind of going into it when it came out, and then it came out and it's like, this is all it could do, and then it's just like, okay, I don't know, it was all right. It would be cool if it was easier, but I'll have to check that one out again.
Yeah, just to maybe showcase, maybe you got a listing and you want to do a quick walkthrough. Maybe the flow of the house is really, really easy, and you walk through the front door and walk through in a hyperlapse out the back door or something like that. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can be done to help showcase that property, use that technology. And then, I wrote this down, and I did a podcast on this one. Okay. I don't know how you feel about it. If it's controversial, maybe that's a good thing for TV kind of thing. But I always, I put on here, avoid Zillow and Trulia.
Avoid them?
Yeah, because one of the things that Zillow and Trulia, they're good. You need to post your listings and whatnot and get the exposure. I get that. But there's a lot of agents that then leverage your hard work for their benefit. So they'll put your listing on there, but then have somebody else's link who paid more money for that space or that advertising. And then, your listing's on there, but then they call somebody else. They don't necessarily call you because it's your listing.
Well, okay. Yeah, no, it's like, I totally understand where you get, and actually that's a really hot topic item for a lot of real estate agents, is the whole Zillow Trulia thing. Because what you're saying is exactly right. It's your listings, it's the real estate agents' listings, and then basically Zillow and Trulia and even Realtor.com, for that matter, they're selling your leads, the leads from your listings back to you. So it's like this incestual relationship that we have with these websites. And it's really backwards. And this is the way I usually approach it. I don't love Zillow. I don't love Trulia. I don't own stock in them. I'm not a cheerleader for them or anything like that. Right. The only thing is that we have to look at what the facts are today. And the facts are that you have Zillow and Trulia are providing a service that the real estate community is not doing. And that service is providing information. Now, what the public wants today is they want data. They want information. We expect everything out there to be online. And so when it comes to a home buyer or a home seller in the process of purchasing a property or selling their property, they are doing their homework first online. So they expect to find this data, this information out there. And the real estate community, the part that we're doing wrong is, and it's really bad, and this is something I advocate that we absolutely have to change, is that if you want to change that, then we need to turn our MLSs around and make them what we call public facing. So for Google, Trulia and Zillow have huge rankings online. Zillow gets like 36 million hits per month on their website, and Trulia gets around like 24 to 26 million hits on their website. And then when you get to Realtor.com, it's like 15 million hits. So like Trulia and Zillow are so far surpassed everything else. And when you get to the number 10 most ranked website, it's usually a tie between Zip Realty, who Realogy owns now, and Redfin. They're at about like 1.5 million hits total. I mean, they don't get past 2 million hits. So just to show you like how lopsided that is. And it's not right. It's absolutely not right. And what makes it so wrong is that our MLSs, we give all that data to Trulia and Zillow through portals like ListHub and everything else. So we're giving that data to them. Then they're putting it on their websites, getting all the traffic, and then they sell those leads back to the real estate community. Right. And the problem is that we have to learn that we were once the gate, or I'm not a real estate agent anymore, but real estate agents are no longer the gatekeepers to real estate data any longer. We can't hold that information back. And there's a mentality that we can hold this information back somehow to benefit buyers agents or sellers agents, or somehow it's going to benefit our industry. But it's actually doing the opposite. It's actually hurt our industry, because that's the only reason why Trulia and Zillow exists. They see an industry that's kind of in a time warp and stuck a little bit in the past. And so a company like Trulia and Zillow, they're looking to disrupt that. They see inefficiency and they're going to attack it. And if it's not them, it's going to be someone else. I'd rather it be the real estate industry handle the problem and make it better for all real estate agents. But right now, I don't see the leadership there like headed in that direction.
Yeah, I'm not a big proponent of Zillow. I know there's a company, I read an article the other day, actually it's about 2 months ago, of a real estate company in Oregon. They're not allowing their agents to put their listings on MLS. They're doing everything online. So it's Zillow, LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff. And they're making the argument that the MLS may be dead without technology where you can post these properties.
Yeah, well, they actually have a valid point there. But that's exactly why we have to take the MLSs and make them public facing. You know, one of the things that I talk a lot about every time I speak to agents is the danger report that was issued by the National Association of Realtors. And every real estate agent not only should read that report, but know it really well. And they actually made it so easy to read and consume. I printed out a copy that I have that goes in my bag everywhere I go. That report outlines all the challenges that this industry is facing, and most of it is all derived upon how we're using information, how we're not using it correctly, and the impact that websites like Zillow, Trulia, and others are going to have on the industry. And in my opinion, if you want to fix that, which we should be fixing it should be the realtors have to go to the MLSs I mean, how often does a real estate agent, do you even, I mean, we know who the president of our MLS is, but you have no communication with them unless you do a listing violation or something like that. We have to go to our MLS and say, we need a plan to make our data available to the public online. Because what happens is that the MLS is the single most biggest tool that realtors have. It's a powerful weapon because it's actually a true marketplace of buyers and sellers. It's the most, when it's all working correctly, it's the most efficient marketplace for a buyer or seller. So we have the framework for buyers want to be in there, should want their houses to be put in there, because in an efficient marketplace, that's the only way buyers can receive the most money for their homes, and that's the only, or sellers can receive the most money for their properties, and that's the only way to get buyers to see everything that's in the available in the area. So we have this huge marketing advantage over Zillow and Trulia. However, buyers today don't know about the MLS. They know that it exists, but they don't see it anywhere. It's not anywhere to be found. Kind of like what you were saying in the very beginning when we started, how it's so important to have a presence online, right, and be able to be found. Well, you can't find the MLS because as far as Google sees the MLS, it's just a black hole. There's just nothing there.
Well, let me ask you though. I mean, with people putting agents putting the what do you call those where you can search on their website when they have a portal to the MLS?
IDX.
Yeah, an IDX.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, right? It is.
Well, the problem with IDX now is that buyers and sellers don't use it on agents' websites. They are preferring to go to a Zillow or a Trulia or the Realtor.com app or Redfin to do their search. Those apps are much better at searching than any IDX that you buy. I don't care if it's like from Diverse Solutions or any of the other companies. There's a lot of good ones out there that do it, but they don't want to go to your website to do the search. They want to do the search when they want to do the search and on the website that they prefer. And they right now expect that data to come up from Zillow or Trulia. And when they're searching, they're on these things. They're searching for homes on these things. So it's and that's the way we're doing everything else. Like for realtors, you're doing everything else in your life on demand. When you want something, you go and get it. So like when you want to rent a movie, you don't go to Blockbuster Video anymore. You rent it on your TV, okay, through Google or Apple or Netflix or whatever. And everything else that you buy, when you buy stuff, everyone goes and buys your stuff from Amazon. You order everything online. So why do you expect a home buyer or home seller to do something different? Like that they're just going to say, well, real estate's not online, I have to go to a real estate agent. No, that's not the way it works anymore. We all expect that stuff online. And if we don't disrupt our own system right now, somebody else is coming in to disrupt it. And that's what's happening with Zillow and Trulia.
Yeah. I mean, most agents, don't they tell their clients if they're out there representing buyers, hey, don't believe what you see on Zillow and Trulia. It's out there.
Yeah. And okay, and then I would like to hear the realtors that are on here right now. When you tell your client that the Zillow data is out of date, okay, do they stop? Do they just like put down their phones and be like, I'm never going to go to that app again. I'm never going to that website again. Tell me where I should be going to get the up-to-date listings. They don't do that.
No, they continue.
They continue. That's right. They totally continue. There's all this talk about someone just put on there the millennials, your boy out here in DeKalb. With the millennials are even more attuned to this. Millennials, the thing with them is that they don't like middlemen. They want efficiency. They want something when they want it. Like the whole Uber model and the Lyft model. That's a completely that's the way that we're heading right now. That's the direction our whole ecosystem of working online is going.
Right. Right.
So when it comes to real estate online, you have to give those buyers what it is they want. And the thing is, we have the infrastructure in place. We have what the buyers and sellers want. We got this beautiful MLS system, and most MLSs are in pretty good shape. And so, but then we're not sharing that with our communities. Right. And that's a true disservice.
Yeah. It is a disservice to the business. Zillow and Trulia, that's always a hot topic in our industry. I mean,
but right now they have the traffic, and so So like, so what are you going to do? All the traffic is there. So you're going to tell me that because you don't like it, and this is what I hear from realtors, my comeback to them is like, because you don't like the way it's working, the way it's operating, then you're just going to just not participate on it at all. And that's just crazy. Like if you're going to tell me tonight that there was like some kind of community party and there's like, there's the potential that there's going to be like 10 people there that want to sell their home. You just like heard it through the grapevine that there's 10 people there that want to sell their home, this community event, and they're going to be looking for realtors, just some crazy like that. And you're telling me that, well, I'm not going to go there because I don't go to community events. I don't do that kind of PR. I don't do that kind of stuff. Of course you would go there and you'd go do whatever you could to try to get those leads. Right. You wouldn't do that. The buyers and the sellers are there and it sucks. But if you want to fix it, then what it has to be the real estate agents that have to provide the leadership and tell the MLS how to fix it, and tell NAR how to fix it, and tell our realtor boards how to fix it, because they aren't doing it for you guys.
Right. I agree. All right. So number 6, let's get off that subject there. And why don't you, George, tell us how you really feel there, buddy. And we talked, Justin and I talked about this yesterday when I was on his blab there, boosting your Facebook posts. Really good suggestions on that. But paying $5-10 or whatever it is to boost your Facebook posts, a lot of traction. Now I'm guilty as anybody. I don't use Facebook as much as I probably should. So
I love it
when it comes to Facebook. But Justin had some very good points about it and boosting those ads or boosting those posts to get the exposure that you want to help build your brand.
Well, here's the deal with Facebook. And the thing is, you have to realize is that how we market on Facebook today is much different than it was 2 years ago. And however we use and market Facebook 2 years from now, a year from now, it's going to be very different again. Facebook's in a constant state of change because how people use it. And depending on how people use Facebook is going to, then a marketer, and that's what we're talking about, becoming a marketer and marketing on the platform. You have to know how to play into that. It's going to change. And every time Facebook makes a change themselves, they're making a change not to make it tougher, not to try to make more money, although they do need to make money off it. And, if whatchamacallit wants to keep his billionaire status, he's got to charge advertisers stuff to be on the platform. But the thing is that with Facebook is that it is the only platform that has, the only social media platform that has the most people and has the most amount of attention by people. And so when you start talking about Facebook marketing, you've got 2 different strategies. First, you got your personal profile. And on your personal profile, I always tell agents that your personal profile is your online database. Every agent should have a database and every agent should be marketing out to that database. But how we reach and connect that database occurs in different formats, in different ways. And one of those ways is by doing it properly with your personal profile. Now, there's a strategy for using it that way. You can't go crazy putting your open houses and your listings and all that kind of crap. There's a way to do it correctly. And we should probably have that for another Blab Talk. But
yeah, I mean, I have a business Facebook page and a personal Facebook page, and we talked about the separation of the two and integrating the two together.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have had success with that. I will say that, Karen says she has never paid for Facebook or Boost. I did one time just as an experiment. I put $10 into the deal, and I got 1,000 downloads to my podcast.
Yeah.
So it does work. There's no question about it.
It works.
About using the Facebook for an open house. If you want to target a certain zip code or a certain neighborhood, you can really focus that and promote that you're having an open house through Facebook. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm as guilty as anybody when it comes to Facebook and not utilizing it to its full potential. But there are people out there doing it and being pretty successful with it.
Well, so you got the 2 strategies. It does work. Now, when it comes to the fan page, everything on your fan page is basically pay per play. And the boosting, when you're boosting a post, that really is like sort of like the teaser drug to get you deeper into what Facebook running Facebook ads is all about. And when you really start to get into it, it gets very cool because you can the level that you can target goes way beyond just like demographics.
Yeah.
Like it goes way beyond just like, I want to target women that are 30 to 50 years old that live in Santa Clarita County, California. You could go way, way deeper with the targeting. And the thing with that is that, this is when you start going beyond the boost and you get into using the Power Editor. And that's the advertising platform on the back end of your Facebook fan page. And the kinds of ways that you can target, you can track, you can track certain pages on your website. Like I have this set up on some of my blog pages. You set up I have a couple articles that get tons of traffic. And so when they land on those particular articles, I have a tracking pixel on that page. And when that person ends up back on Facebook, I hit them up with another piece of valuable content. Okay, I don't try to sell them anything there or anything like that, but I hit them up with another piece of valuable content because I know that they're on that article. They found it. The only way they could have found that article was through Google. And that means that I knew they were searching for something. That's what got them there. So now I hit them with something else valuable. And then what happens is that you introduce yourself to that potential client, and you start what we call like an information back and forth with them. They're going to start checking. They're going to start seeing you, and this is how you get the impression of, wow, you guys are everywhere. And if you have good content on your website, it's a great way to deliver that content, to find new people to see it, and to attract people that have already seen it and hit them up with other things. So that's where it starts to get really, really cool with how crazy and how far you can go with it. Between tracking people that are on your website and hitting with additional content, between trying out different types of campaigns, testing different images, testing out different copywriting for other posts, testing out video ads to picture ads. You can go really hog crazy on targeting and ads. And if you're doing it right, what you're trying to do is not get a sale directly from it. What you want is to get someone on your website, get them to sign up for an ebook, get them to sign up for your podcast, get them to check you out. Maybe you're doing a blab talk and you do a blab talk for first-time home buyers. Get them onto your website, get them into your funnel, get them onto your email list. That's the way you use it. So if it's used correctly, you can grow your reach with it. And that's the people that are doing it, like you said, that's what they're doing. They're growing their reach, they're growing their base with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is the Power Editor, is that free, or is that something you got to pay for?
The Power Editor is free. You have to learn how to use it. And but the ads, like when you purchase the ads on there, that's not free. You have to purchase, but you set your spending limit and you do your tests. And it's a little clunky, and it's a little confusing. So there's a little bit of there's no doubt it's a learning curve to it, and they're always making changes back there and stuff to it. It's not perfect, but once you
$10, I mean,
yeah, you set up ad campaigns and you try stuff, and what happens is that once you start trying stuff, you're going to see stuff that actually works. Some stuff will not work so well, other stuff will. Once you find the stuff that works, that drives traffic and drives engagement, it's beautiful. It works. I love it, and once I think for most people, like for me, when I finally saw it, and it just opened up my eyes, and I mean, it's just there's nothing else like it.
Here's the other thing too, that I mentioned this to Justin when I first met him last week. YouTube has the exact same thing called True View searches. And if you notice in the front of a YouTube video, they have the 5-second video. And then after 5 seconds, you can take your video and put it in and piggyback off of other successful videos.
Yeah.
Same demographics as you have on Facebook, where you can narrow it down, set your spending limit, all that kind of stuff to drive traffic. Yeah. So YouTube does the same thing. I did that with my videos, about 1,400 views.
There's a huge opportunity play there, and James Wetmore is talking a lot about that right now. So is making those ads because there's just a lot of open advertising space on it right now. And so it's a great, I think it's just a great opportunity on YouTube for that. There's no doubt about it. So we got Karen from St. Louis wants to get on. I'm going to add her on the show. You mind bringing her on?
No, absolutely. Bring her on.
I love the conversation. And then let's bring someone else. Let's get a different opinion. So let me get you on here, Karen.
Hi there.
Hey, what's going on, Karen?
Hey,
Hi. Okay, sorry. It went lately on Blab when you join, it throws this big banner right in front of your face, so you can't see yourself
Yeah.
yeah,
close it out.
Karen, I think you're on my email list now. You emailed me. Was it this year? You emailed me about some stuff. I think,
Did
right?
I? I don't remember.
Okay. Are you are you an admin for an office in St. Louis?
No,
I don't know if you were that same girl.
no.
Okay. I didn't know if that was you.
No.
Okay. All right. It's different.
Okay.
There's a different
Light
person,
is
different
terrible
agents.
here. Sorry, I'm gonna shift around till I can figure out how to get the light better. There we go.
Yeah.
That,
It looks good.
that's better.
Yeah. Yeah. You're pretty good there. All right. What thoughts do you got? What questions do you have? Go ahead and shoot.
I just think that there's a couple of different approaches, and it kind of depends on if you're trying to, I know a lot of agents that are trying to do the IDX capture. They're trying to capture lots of buyers, or they're trying to grow a team. They're trying to close tons of deals, and that's great. That's not the kind of business that I really want to run. I want to have balance in my life, and I don't want to have to hire a lot of people, and I don't want to have a big team. So all I really need is 25 to 35 deals a year.
right.
And I've got a great life, and I've got time to live my life the way I want and still take care of my clients. So to do 25 to 35 deals a year, I don't need to do all of this stuff. You need to X out, block the person that's in the chat.
What the hell? What the heck is
So
that?
if you hover over as the host, if you hover over like the person's name, you should get some kind of a block, and you should be able to kick them out of the room.
All right, hang on. How do I do that? Yeah.
There should be an X or something, a trash can or something. You can kick this, "Hey Joe" out. There you go.
There you go. Wow, what is that? That's crazy. I have not experienced. I've not seen that.
There are trolls, and you have to kind of keep an eye on it, which is why you have to accept people as a host. People just can't jump in. So
yeah.
Anyway, but that was a good solution. Who is that? That is what's your name? Justin. Thank you for pushing that up so I didn't have to keep looking at that.
Yeah. Listen, good job, buddy.
So I just want to throw out there that all the stuff that you're talking about, if you're trying to do volume, you're trying to really grow. I mean, absolutely, all this stuff works. But there's also a lot of agents like me who aren't trying to do huge volume. They're not trying to pick up every internet lead. They want to work with people that I do more of a referral-based business, repeat clients and referral. So I'm not necessarily trying to pick up. My marketing isn't aimed at picking up the cold internet lead on a landing page and then funneling them into something that eventually, converts them. I know it works. That's not my.
But you don't. But the thing is that you're an entrepreneur. So if you're an entrepreneur, you chose this career. You chose this as your pathway to sell real estate because you can allow yourself the freedom to be able to choose and do work with who you want to do work with and work the way you want to work.
Right.
That's the whole point. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually awesome. That's like what your plan is,
right.
And you don't have to go after cold traffic. Once you've built a database, and it sounds like you've got one in place, you've got if you got a referral network, you've got some type of database action going on, and you're in control though.
Right.
And I dig that. That's a good thing.
I think my point was just when you're talking about here's how you use Facebook, here's what I think there's more than one way to do anything. And I think what you guys were talking about absolutely works. But what I do is I'm not at Keller Williams anymore, but I was there for a little while, and I really learned their system about the 33 touch. You send out 33 touches a year.
It works.
It works. Well, guess what?
Gary
Facebook is a 365-day touch. I'm on Facebook every single day, and people that I'm Facebook friends with know that I'm a real estate agent. I'm not.
Well, you make a good point there. It's work. It's a lot of work.
It is, but for me, I actually don't mind this work versus the idea of
because you're doing work with people
what they like and what works for them. Yeah.
but you get to work with people you want to work with, though.
Exactly. And honestly, I would be on Facebook every day, even if I quit being a real estate agent. I like social media. Hey, we're all on Blab. You guys obviously don't hate social media, or you wouldn't be here. So,
but that part's important,
right?
You got, because if you're just going to be on social media, if you're just going to go on Facebook and you don't even like to use the platform, or you don't want to engage with other people, you just want to put your marketing posts on there, it's not going to work for you,
right?
It's just not going to work.
I think all of these things, I think with most things there's two extremes, that you can do, and probably anything in between. So I do have an email newsletter, but I'm not trying to grow this massive database, and I'm not doing the kind of the funnel of, I've watched the Chris Bergen stuff and how Darren Rouse stuff, and I understand the concept of start, what is it? What is the Gary Vee thing? The something jab.
Jab, right hook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I get that concept, and I know it works. It's just not who I am. So I'm not going to do that.
But that's the thing. It doesn't mean the end goal doesn't have to be that you go from 25 transactions a year to 35 to 45 to 105 in 5 years, like that. And what you're getting at, which I dig what you're doing. I do like the same thing. I don't try to work with everybody. Like I do the whole real estate trainer guru thing, and I'm a real estate photographer, but I pick and choose the realtors I want to work with.
Right.
I only want realtors that know how to use my work, so they can do whatever it is they want to do with their own business.
Right.
And they know how to use it. And like what you're doing is you pick and choose your clients, you work with people you want to work with, and you enjoy the quality of life. But you don't have to, all this marketing stuff, it's not supposed to be all about just getting more leads. The Facebook stuff and social media stuff is so much more about just maintaining and building relationships.
Exactly.
And that can be done with your existing folks.
Exactly. And that's my point is I get that the boosting and the ads and all that works to reach out and expand and to get a broader base and to meet new people. It totally works. But the flip side is if you don't want to do that, it totally works. I put in the comment, Facebook is like going to a cocktail party every single night. You're getting in front of people, you get to chat with them, you talk about their kids, you say, oh, I'm sorry you're sick, whatever. All that old fashioned networking that, we still get to do it from the comfort of our couch, instead of having to actually go out all the time.
Yeah. And you still have to be, it is still about doing the offline thing too.
Right.
Because you still have to be out and about there and everything. And you have to be the same person you're on Facebook.
Right.
You've got to be that same person out there, but you still got to be out there. It's just, for me, it's all about scale. Like like you're saying, it is the dance party. It's where everybody's finding out what's going on with everybody. It's how we stay to know with all of our networks on Facebook. And so what you're doing is like just perfect in terms of you're probably not like putting all your open houses and all your direct listings on there. You're just engaging and you're sharing your little mini stories that you go through every single day.
One of the things you mentioned right before I jumped on, you guys were talking about how, the people get tired of seeing, the houses and, posted. One of the things I've been doing, and I've been really doing it very strategically the last couple of weeks, it's really working. I've never paid Facebook $1. Right now I am getting reach on many of my page posts that is beyond my likes, like almost twice. And the way I'm doing it is when I'm searching through the MLS or I'm going through homes, I'll sometimes find a picture, that crazy picture. I just posted a house that had pink trim, hot pink trim on a I was seriously looking through comps for somebody. I stumbled on this house that's actually active on the market. It's a beautiful kind of cedar stained siding with hot pink trim.
Yeah. And
so I grabbed a picture.
Yep.
I am not calling out the agent. I'm not saying I'm not giving you an address. I threw it on Facebook and said, oh my gosh, hot pink drink. What do you think?
Right.
And then I share it because it's a fun kind of a thing, and it's not
Yep.
say, hey, I'm a real estate agent, hire me.
Right.
I'll share it from the page to my profile. And then Facebook has been showing those kinds of pictures. So those yes or no, I had another one. It was a kitchen, an old historic home, and they had painted the ceiling green. So we had a little green trim in the wall tile. And I put the picture on, and I said, like it or hate it. And I got tons of comments.
Yeah,
and
well, that's a popular TV show too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that you can do to remind people you're a real estate agent without saying, hire me, come see this house, which nobody wants to see.
No, that's the way to do it. What you're doing there is, we call that, you're doing they're little ounces of storytelling.
Yeah.
And you're sharing your day. And the thing is, like, we are in a very exciting profession. It may not seem like it for a lot of agents, but you get, everybody loves to see cool houses and cool features in houses, and the fucked up, like, crazy shit that we see in houses. Like, everyone loves to see that stuff. And you're right. Like, you can't call out the house. Don't put the address. Don't put the neighborhood. Right. Just show the item. Like, I always say, like, one of the last houses when I was still an agent, it was this crazy dollhouse. And this lady had like a little doll factory in her house, and she made like these like dolls, these like big evil dolls. They look evil to me, but they got like painted, they got makeup on their faces, and she made dresses and outfits for them and stuff. It was freaky, and it was all over the house. She had the little factory in one of the bedrooms, and it's just freaky. So I went in there for the listing appointment, and then I didn't take the whole picture of the whole room or anything like that. I just took like this close up one of these evil dolls, like faces, and I put that on there. I was like,
I'm not sure if I would do it if it was my list.
Yeah, right. And
probably need to put the dolls.
It was crazy. And then I just put on there, like, there's I'm checking. I'm at a listing appointment, and there's an evil doll that I think she's staring at me. I just and I just made a mess like that. But that kind of stuff goes so much more farther. And then what you're doing when you do that is you're actually reminding everyone you're connected to that you're a real estate agent. And then that way you don't have to sell them. It's in their mind. And and you've created, like the old Keller Williams stuff, you've created top of mind awareness. Right. Without having to sell, and that's the most powerful. That's the most powerful way to actually sell.
And then once in a great while, you can throw something in. I think when I first got on Twitter, years ago, they talked about, like, for every 10, for every one self-promotional thing, you should have like 8 or 10 that were something else. And so that's kind of what I try to do. I mean, I will occasionally throw something out there and say, check, I just finished this video for my new listing. I never say, come buy my new listing. Who do you know who might want to buy this house? But I might say, I love making videos, so much fun. I just finished, here's the latest one.